There's not anything quite like raw camera audio. I'm sure it sounds delightfully delicious if you can even hear right now. Not that I'm a big audio person that does a lot of post anything with the audio. I pretty much go raw audio, so I want something that works pretty good. Again, I'm no audiophile, audio buff expert on any of this, but I wanted to try some of the best that I could find at the cheapest from the better brands. Did that make sense? That sounded like it didn't make sense. I'm going to go with it did. And the first one we're going to look at is already set up here. It's going to be the Behringer XM8500. Now, typically this mic is $40, but I've been very frequently finding it for about 20 bucks. We're also going to be looking at an Audio-Technica ATR 1300. And then last but not least, one of Samson's R21Ss, which of all three of these feels to be the cheapest made quality and just kind of looks a little goofy, like it's like you got Jupiter on the end of a stick here. But we're going to find out. Hey guys, what's up? It's Mattwood86 and I'm going to be taking a look at some pretty cheap microphones today. Now you just heard some raw audio footage while I was sitting here just messing around. Nothing was plugged into the camera. Hopefully that recorded. I have just recorded 3 microphones without knowing what any of them sound like other than the Behringer XM8500 because I used it while setting this up so that I could record the other ones. My idea with this is just kind of try to show you budget options. If you were interested in doing a podcast, a stream, or I'm not really sure, whatever else you might want to do with one, put it on a swing boom arm or something like that, have it next to your desk where you can pull it down. Do a nice little setup with an old school kind of dynamic microphone. The thing about microphones is some of these have a shelf life of many, many years. A big staple in microphones is the Audio-Technica 2020. Some of you are probably familiar with that and some of you probably have never heard of it. The thing is, it has been out forever. A lot of these microphones, and that's the funny thing, here I am making a video in 2019, a lot of these microphones came out in the early 2000 range. A good microphone will last for a long time on the market, so be sure and shop around, and I would say that just because it's old doesn't mean it's bad, and I would have to cite again something like the Audio-Technica 2020, which is a $200, I lied, which is a $100 microphone, I believe, this day and age, and it's a great little microphone. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy this content and find it somewhat helpful and useful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'm no pro audio guy, but I hope that this is helpful to people that are just kind of like me. My goal was just to buy cheap, experiment, and see what you guys think. Leave your opinion down below as to what sounds good, what doesn't sound good, or even if you can tell a difference. Alright, so you guys be sure and tell me what you think. This is the Behringer XM8500, and I think that it sounds like a pretty good microphone personally. This is the one I did a little bit of test setup on. What I'm using is just a little baby mixer, a Xenix 302 USB. That's a Behringer mixer. It's about a $48 little USB mixer. It's about this big. I'll show a picture of it if I didn't right there. I will show you a picture of it. Nothing fancy, no built-in awesome compressor. It's really nothing all that great, but I'm using it to mix microphone into mixer out to camera so that you can hear what I'm saying pretty easily, all recorded under one spot. If you're interested in stuff like that, we'll do a video on that as well. I don't know how interested people will be in that because that's not really my niche, you know, but I'm playing around with some stuff and trying to give some people some insight. Oftentimes I get asked the question, what audio do I use? Which first of all really surprises me because my audio is not that great. Now we swapped it up a little bit and this is the Audio-Technica ATR 1300. So far I hope this has given you some sort of rounded opinion as to how they sound. Now as far as this microphone right here, the 1300 and the Samson one, I have not done any pre-testing for setup, so it's going to be just as much a surprise to me as it is to you if it's even recording. I hope it's recording because I don't want to keep making these little clips as minimal as possible. But hopefully it sounds pretty good. And if this is something you're thinking, hey, I'm doing a podcast, I'm doing a stream, maybe I've even got set up as a gaming on a swing boom or something, then you can sit there and talk into and be like, man, this is pretty good. We'll do some things like, how about this? Can you still hear me? We're going to find that out together, especially in post-editing. You can tell I'm probably about maybe a foot away from this microphone right now and hoping that it picks up pretty well. I also have a really cheap pop filter right here that's just connected to a really cheap microphone stand so that I could demo these to you. And finally, this is the Samson R21S microphone. I don't know how it's going to sound. I'm not even sure if it's on. There's a switch for on and off, but it's not labeled. I assume like the other microphone, the Audio-Technica ATR 1300, that the up motion means that it's on, but I don't know. So it may absolutely not be recording right now, but hopefully you're getting some sort of idea for how it is. I'm speaking in a pretty loud room voice to try to get an idea of how it is. Now I haven't done any yelling because a lot of that's really going to depend on your mixer setup as well. Sometimes something like a compressor will help bring down really loud noises, and I don't want to, you know, say I wouldn't want to put blame on a microphone for something that's lacking on the other hardware end of the spectrum with that. But anyways, this is the R21S by Samson, and it's the less quality feeling of all of them. It's lighter, it just feels like cheaper material, but maybe it'll surprise me in post here. I'll pull it up and say, wow, it sounds just as good, it sounds better, or I'll go, I don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope this gives you some sort of example here of what these microphones sound like. Now, these are all, I paid $20 for just about all these, between $19 and $21 really, so an average of $20 $20 for all three of these microphones. I will link them down below. We're also going to compare it to the ATR. What is my microphone? We're also going to compare it to the ATR 875 that I use normally, which is an Audio-Technica shotgun microphone and costs about $200. And you can decide if you really hear a difference or not between these microphones. I haven't used it at all in this video. We started with raw audio, moved into testing all three of these, and then that. I'll also do a snippet here at the end so you can have a quick comparison as to what each one sounds like, starting now. This is the Samson R21S. This is the Audio-Technica ATR 1300. And this is the Behringer XM8500. Now this is me using my Audio-Technica shotgun microphone that I had mentioned. It uses a little bit of a different setup. I don't have XLR into that mixer. I'm actually using it into my own little hacked up one that I made a long time ago that has served me pretty well over time. So anyways, that might not be the best comparison for you, but this is my shotgun microphone. I also have a very echoey space, and again, I don't do a lot of posts with audio. All of this will be raw. But I hope it gives you some sort of comparison or idea about what you're listening to, what you're doing, what you're looking for inside of a microphone or from a microphone in order to reproduce audio for your specified task. You guys have a great day, night, whatever it is. I'll see you in the next video I do.